everybody, I'm Sam the Cooking Guy. This is how to perfect your backyard barbecue skills. I'm Sam Zion, Sam the Cooking Guy. This is my backyard, my home. This is where we shoot our YouTube channel. We have almost 3.5 million subscribers now, and we make food that we say is big in taste, but small in effort. We're making foolproof, sticky sweet ribs. You will be the hero of your next block party if you make these. So we're gonna start right here with the ribs because this is where we have to get going, and wait till you see how this goes down. All right. For the camera's benefit, I turn this around and you can see what we've got. You have right here the Signature Select pork loin back ribs, extra meaty. These ribs like this are what I buy when I make ribs all the time. So in the package form, out of the package form. Let me show you what we're gonna do with these guys now. You could just cook them like this. We're gonna pre-roast them in the oven, but you could just do it like this. Or you could, if you were so inclined, take off this back membrane. I'll show you how to do it. You can decide whether you want to or not. It's a bit of a pain, but it's okay. The people that are super hardcore barbecuers, smokers, they take off the membrane. They say it makes eating it better. So I've taken my little knife right here, little paring knife, and this is a bone right here. So I just, on top, I just want to get started, that little membrane layer. And then the only way to do it is to get a piece of paper towel because it's super slippery. You try and get a little piece. Let me try and turn this so you can see here, Chancey. You get a little piece like this, and then you pull off. And sometimes you get lucky and it almost comes off in the first pull. Ah, I'm not lucky. Oh, I have some in the oven and that one was perfect. And I knew I jinxed myself. There you go, all right? So you get this off, you're good. So now we're ready to deal with these. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a binder on and we're using yellow mustard. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna taste this mustard when we're finished. It's just gonna help everything stick, the rub that we're gonna make. So this gets all lathered up. We do both sides. And by the way, all the recipes are online. You don't have to write anything down. This is great. Okay, we've got that. Now look at what we've got. Here's our simple, basic, everyday little rub that you want to just make and keep. This is garlic powder, granulated garlic, chili powder. I happen to be using chipotle chili powder. There's a little more kick, but use whichever one you want. Black pepper, kosher salt. You see the kosher salt is chunky, right? That's the one restaurants use. That's what chefs use. Table salt, the iodized stuff, we don't use that. We want a good coarse salt. And then a little brown sugar. So these things we just mix. Look, I'm cooking with one hand. Mom, I'm cooking with one hand. And then onto the ribs, right? So we'll start back first, and we sprinkle, and you can be generous with this. Just go at it. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Do a nice job. Flip over. We finish here. Fantastic, fantastic. You don't want to make your own rub? Buy a rub. You don't want to buy a rub? You want to put these in the oven naked? You can absolutely do that. I'm telling you that by the time we're done with the little sauce we're going to make, they're going to be great. Okay, here's how I like to cook them. I take a baking sheet with a rack. I like to elevate it off the deck. I think it cooks better, but I've done it many times without the rack. I was at somebody's house and they didn't have one, and that's okay. Let me just wash my hands here before I get any further. We wash our hands, it's important. I had a series on Discovery's Health Channel for a year. And I would cook, and my dogs would walk into the shot, and I'd pick up the dog, and then I'd put the dog down and I'd continue cooking. And the Discovery people would always send me a note saying, please remember, you have to tell people to wash their hands. And I would say, I'm cooking for myself and the crew, and they all have dogs and they're all okay with it. But no, the Discovery people were kind of wacky. Anyway, look, we've got this done. We clean as we go, folks. Makes it easier after. Ribs, mustard, our rub. Now they're ready to go in the oven. We're gonna add one more thing, and this is plain, inexpensive white vinegar. Maybe, I don't know, 3 tablespoons, a quarter of a cup. And what this is going to do under the foil that I don't have, but that's okay, you don't need to see foil, you understand. Cover this tightly with foil. That vinegar is going to steam inside, and it's going to help break down the tissues and make these guys extra tender. They're going to be so delicious. It won't even be funny. So I'll set these aside. Jill, you can bring out the ones inside. Take those guys away, and I'll give you this too. That's Jill, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to make your time here much more efficient than if it was just me trying to do this myself. But now we're going to make this little sauce. And check this out, because it's the best thing ever. This is your favorite barbecue sauce, and that's actually not a brand, though it could be. Any one you want. I like a plain sauce. We're going to add only 2 things to it. One is about a quarter of a cup of brown sugar. Remember I called these sticky sweet, right? Sticky sweet. Brown sugar, and this is maple syrup. If you had pancake syrup at home, you could use that. Signature Select, pancake syrup, on your shelf, use that. You don't have to go fancy. This is probably not the place to use that special Canadian maple syrup that your uncle brought back on a trip to Montreal a couple years ago. Thank you. You can just leave it right there for 1 second. Yeah, thank you, Joe. So all we're doing with this is this. We're mixing. Done. It's done. It's done. Listen, people freak out about doing everything at the last minute. And I say, balderdash, don't freak out. Do things ahead of time. As much as you can do ahead of time, do it. Make this the day before, 2 days before. Make the rub 3 days before, a week before. The ribs, peel off the membrane, get it on the thing. So here we are. And now look what you're going to see. This is the fun part for me. Now, I'm going to tell you, I want you to be very careful at this point because there's going to be steam. Oh, steam and heat. Watch. And liquid. Oh, this is so glorious. I can't believe it. I love it. And now watch what happens. When you take your little knife, you just go in. Look, it's a shame. They've just given up any fight that they've had. These are fantastic. These are going to literally be falling off the bone tender. And I know the competition guys will say, no, you can't have that. What you have to have is you have to have some chew, some pull to them. But I say, I don't know. I'm kind of partial to tender. So now they're cooked. Sorry for the noise. They're fully cooked. And they look okay. But they're about to look way, way better because we're going to finish them off on the grill right now. Chancey, you can come over here. We've got cameras over here. Open the lid, and let's see what we've got. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just give the grill a little spray because we don't want anything sticking. I'm going right down the middle. Always keep a can of that around. You'll be very glad that you've got it. And now our ribs are going to come like this. Let me try and bring this guy over so I'm not going to burn myself. And we're going to now go face down on the grill. Oh. See this? When the bones pull away, when the meat pulls away from the bones like this, that's a very good sign, a very good sign. But we're not saucing yet. Because here's the rules about saucing. When you have something sweet, and you saw what we put into it, you know it's sweet. When you start saucing, it's going to start burning, and we don't want that yet. What we want right now is just color. Just get some color. Those little marks that you get, the grill stripes, yes, it's color. Yes, it looks good. It's also flavor and texture, and that's a very important thing. So this is only going to take a few minutes. If I turn it back, look at, they're just really starting to give up. This is what I want. So now we can do this. Now we take our sauce and we brush on. Once you just get that first side colored up a little bit, a few marks, now we're okay. Oh, goodness gracious. If you think this looks good, let us know. Send us an emoji that lets us know how you feel about something like this. So great. So now back to the other side. Oh boy, what a treat. Yes, and do this side too. I know there's not much meat back here, but it's always important. You want to make sure that when you're eating, you're getting the flavor all the way through. But now that we've got the sweet, sticky side down, now we're going to start picking up some more color, and that's a very good thing. So let's see. One rack, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13. So you can count on that. Every rack will have this. So when you're thinking about how much to feed, how much to buy for your family, I don't know, think about how many ribs you can eat. Don't forget, these were the select extra meaty. And you can see the extra meatiness on here. All right, let's give these guys a flip. And now I continue the basting. I'll baste a couple times, I'll flip a couple times. So fantastic. So fantastic. All right, let's let them do a little bit more. And if you want to change the orientation, oops, like this. By the way, if you've ever watched even 10 minutes of Sam the Cooking Guy YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, you'll know that we always forget something or break or drop something. So somewhere in this next 40 minutes or however much we got left, that's going to happen. I'm turning on my flat top because we're going to get ready for the chimichurri shrimp. This is the best hack ever. You're going to find out in a minute or two. Okay. So it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I always give one final baste when I go to take them off. And if you want to be really fancy, you can always do this. That was for the camera's benefit. Chefs love those things. They're fun. We use them, well, at one of my restaurants, we finish off our salmon with the torch. Okay, so now I've got this. Let's take our ribs. Try not to break anything. Get them on there. Yeah, there you go, Chancey. Let the people see that. That is a thing of beauty. I could probably clean up the side a little bit. But come on now. And if you want to be a little extra fancy right at the end, a little more of the seasoning is never going to hurt, and it's only going to add a little flavor, but a pretty little look too. All right. So I'm going to do this. I wasn't going to, and now I have to. I'm just going to cut one out so you can see it. Look at this. I mean, it's ridiculous. It is literally falling off the bone. Here's the thing. This is what I'm talking about. That right there. Look how meaty these things are. These are the ones to buy. Okay, fine. Oh my God. Okay, that's just wrong. On so many fronts, I can't believe it. I'm going to tell you something. Anybody tells you ribs are hard, you just saw how hard they are not.